our mission really is to make food accessible, affordable. And we notice in this area there's a lot of ethnic groups, a lot of ethnicities, and the mandate really is to share knowledge on our experiences, and to put the message out there to the public that there is a farm here at Downsview Park. There are people who are farmers who are desirous of farming, but they can't find a space. We are here to collaborate and to do whatever is necessary to address the whole issue of food security, the injustices within the food business, and also to make it affordable and accessible. We don't have to be eating genetically modified food. We call it Frankenstein food. And so, you know, this is what we're doing. The soil here, as I said earlier, is very clay, and so putting the nutrients in is important. But also there are other ethnic groups that they farm in a different way. And so we could share some of that experience with them and see exactly, or they could share that with us and see exactly how we could help to alleviate some of these obstacles that we are faced with in terms of the soil. So the Black Farmers Collective came out of that whole oppression of ILIF training that Growing Power had here. And so this, you know, so, and there are a lot of things that we did where we're doing that we did not know. So they really brought a lot of light onto our very existence in terms of food here. So that's how the Black Farmers Collective came about. We have about 10 members as we speak, and all members within the collective have their businesses, they're small businesses. A lot of them have jobs on the side, but this is why you don't see them here today. Jackie and I is the one, you know, are the ones that are leading the charge. We are here 24/7. This is a sacrificial, you know, thing that we are doing actually, because we don't have a salary. Whatever we do here is what we do 8 days a week. And so, yeah, so basically with the membership, we meet on weekends most of the time, or via, you know, Skype or phone, to talk about the strategies that we you know, need to put in place, or we have in place for now until the next season.
As I was a farmer back in India, I always loved gardening. In Canada, when I first started going to school to learn English, our teacher informed us that if any of us liked gardening, then they had lots available for the purpose. But now, since 2010, we work as a group in these vegetable gardens at Hope Garden. The garden provided to us by our school is called Milky Way, and it's back there. I've taken on the responsibility of looking after that garden. Every Tuesday, we gather and collect the produce and distribute it within the group by weighing the vegetable. I attend to my plants regularly and try to make the plant soil bed soft so that it could receive better water and nutrients at the root. That's how I started vegetable gardening in Toronto. Initially, when we got farms in India, we took help from Indian villagers about farming, and gradually we became better than the local farmers. In the past days, we used chemical fertilizers, but later we learned how to make compost manure on our own. There was one foreign organization that visited our village and taught us how to make compost. I think they were from Europe. They taught us about organic farming, provided us with seeds, and also trained us in making compost. We have a cooperative organization in our village, which, with the help of Tibetan exile government, organizes helpful meetings and workshops for local farmers. I always tried to attend all the information sessions, and that's how I learned to farm. I prepare momo at West End Food Co-op near Dufferin. They charge $25 per hour for the kitchen. My case is little different, however. At our school, we are always encouraged to volunteer as much as possible to improve our English speaking skills. So at the kitchen place and at Soran, the place where I sell momo, I had volunteered for several years. They acknowledged my long-term volunteering service and asked that, since I have many vegetable gardens, if I can sell momo there. They were the one who asked me to sell momo at their place. I didn't take the initiative. They said that they had a restaurant there selling momo which had now moved to Vancouver and they needed an organic momo seller to fill up the gap. Moreover, they knew that I have a sizable organic produce to prepare and sell momo. At West End Food Corp, they charged $25 for the kitchen, but since I was a good long-time volunteer there, they reduced the charge to $20 per hour. I said I was sorry and asked if it was fine to give momo instead of money. They're also food sellers and I said I could cook, pack and prepare the momo for them. They agreed and nowadays I give momo to them instead of money.
I enjoy growing and I started in a 20-foot patch in my backyard, 20 by 10, 15, and I just kept expanding and expanding. And after my backyard was full, I started growing in my front yard. And then I began looking to make my livelihood out of growing good, nutritious food. There's a big difference between nutritious food and food that's not nutritious, and it has a lot to do with the soil. I focus on the soil. Soil is a mixture of compost or organic matter, clay and sand. And the perfect one, I don't know what it is. Actually, I just go by the feel. And some of my soil is starting to feel greasy. And when I look at soil, like when we went on some tours and stuff, I have to touch it and feel it to know, what does it need? What does it need? So this soil here, it needs a lot of compost and it needed sand. And I don't use any power equipment or fossil fuel tools at all. Everything I do is by hand, and I did it by hand. I think you could probably get your higher production, more area, but I don't know if you would get the quality. Worms are so important. Worms are seriously important to the soil. Take out a cubic foot, and if you have 12 worms in there, not bad. You could do better, but not bad. I have at least 30 worms a square foot. And I now grow on 1,400 square feet, which is very, very small, but I do produce over 1 pound of produce per square foot, which is very, very good. I tried to get my stuff on display at the corner store. Here, can I put it in your cooler and I'll split 50-50 if we sell anything. And then I met IL Dinner, and he was starting Soren Farmers Market, and he's all about local and clean food, not synthetic nutrients. And he said, yeah, come on, we're gonna do it. And so I've been selling at Soren Farmers Market for 8 years now. But my selling venue has expanded. I now sell to my neighbors locally, my local neighbors. All are in walking distance from my house. And since I've been selling at the Soren Farmers Market, it's given me a lot of exposure to chefs. And some chefs are coming to me now asking me, can you grow this for me? Can you grow this for me? Or they'll buy everything I have. For instance, the one chef who buys all my New Zealand spinach, and then the customers come after, and where's the New Zealand? So at the beginning, I was looking for places to sell, and now I'm looking for places to grow, because the demand is higher than what my square footage can produce, which actually does produce quite a bit.
I am an italist. Everybody else says vegan. I say italist because I'm from Jamaica, and in the Jamaican culture, the Rastafarians live off the land. And I give credence to that because many of them went through a whole bunch of oppression doing that because they were not doing what they were told to do. And they've lived healthy lives, they've raised healthy children, and they've not killed the ecosystems around them. And this is what we have to remember. The ecosystems, we are an ecosystem as an individual, and we dwell within systems. And we have to keep them all healthy and balanced so that when nature is trying to heal itself and replenish itself, we are treated well in the process and not just tossed here and tossed there. And when we came here, we paid for a half an acre of land, but we ended up on about 2¼ acres. I call that a huge, huge fete. I call that a huge blessing And I invite people to join us because we have to stand up socially for our food systems. And we are given opportunities and gifts around us via nature to be able to grow our food in the short cropping season here. And I think that's an absolute right, but it's also a privilege to do that.